All right, I'm going to connect to live and let everybody in. So we're currently live. I'm admitting everybody. Going to start the recording and also turn on our captions. All right, so we're going to keep admitting people as we go, but we are live. And John, please feel free to take us away.
Hey, everybody. John Jacobson here. I just wanted to welcome everybody to Sing, Dance, Play 2024. It's going to be really great. Artie, Stacy, and I, and this amazing collection of educators and artists. I'm really excited to spend the next couple of days with you. Today's just an orientation session to learn how to participate in the sessions. So we got this great staff at Musicplay that's been working so hard to make these next 2 days something really special for all of you. And they've really worked hard to make all the technical parts of it work. So today they just want to kind of walk you through it, show you how it's going to work, answer any questions, and see how this whole event's going to play. So we're really excited about it. And I want to turn this over to this Dutch phenom, Danae Kananenbelt, who's going to show us how it's going to go. So take it away, Danae, and welcome everybody.
Lovely. Thank you so much, John. Hello, everyone. It is lovely to see you all today, and thanks for joining us for our orientation. So, like John said, we are going to go through and break down some of the websites, some of the ins and outs of what is new this year, what might be the same as last year. If you've attended a webinar, summer symposium, etc., with us before, some of this might feel familiar to you. And if you were at our sessions last year, either in DC, Austin, or virtually, you will recognize our website as well. But if you just give me 1 second, I'm going to share my screen here so I can walk you all through how we're doing it. All right, so I'm believing everyone can see my screen here. You're going to see me kind of look back and forth and whatnot. Just my webcam's a little off center today, but that's all good. So when you go to workshops.musicplay.ca, that is where all of our sessions and everything that is happening with this workshop is hosted. So when you go to workshops.musicplay.ca, you will want to log into your account, and I will walk you through that in just a moment here. We'll go through the orientation modules together, actually. So that's what that will look like. But when you log in, you will see first here our main page here. So in our landing page, very handily, there are two places where you can get to this workshop. You can join from here, this virtual Sing Dance Play 2024, or if you're a visual person, surprise, we have our beautiful presenters here, and you can visit here. So once you've logged in, this is the view that you will see. Just working from the top to the bottom, for those who perhaps have never logged onto our site before, you will see all of this information here, our presenters. These will take you to their bios. I won't go through the bios today because I'm sure after this you'll want to do a lot of website exploring, so I'll leave that for your fun. Presenters, course materials. So this is where you can download the digital PDF. Oh, and sorry, I'll just pause for 1 second. Just as a reminder for everyone, if you could make sure your mics are off, that would be fantastic. But in any case, our course materials here. And then we are also having a virtual choir video on the end of day 2. If you want to access any of the sheet music to follow along, you can check it out here. Unsurprisingly, the deadline is passed, so we are unable to do that, but you can do that here. And also, just as a reminder, please feel free to ask any questions or put them in the chat. I might not necessarily be able to see everything just because of the view on Zoom, but if I do see them in the chat, I will take a look at them. We will also have a Q&A session after I go through this whole orientation, so rest assured, if you do have questions, we can answer them there. But if you have any, please feel free to raise your hand if you'd like to ask them as well. Anyways, just to work through, we're going to go down straight to the orientation portion of this, which when you log in, you will find that in the schedule right here. So we'll go to launch session. And in in each of the sessions for our workshop or for the symposium, you will be able to navigate the sessions here. So as you can see, this orientation session has quite a large drop down. And please, just so you know, if the meeting has reached capacity, everyone can join us on YouTube Live. I'm seeing a question here in the chat. YouTube Live, no limit, you can definitely access there. But anyways, so for our orientation section here, we do see everything listed here, and you can walk through that there. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through each step by step. You can also watch videos with the lovely Carrie Lynn walking you through it as well at a later date. And this video will be available as a recording to watch again as well. So surprise, surprise, Sing Dance Play 2024. This is the session that we're in right now. Again, the YouTube Live, you can link to it here. And that will take you, if, again, your friends are having any issues watching us there, or watching us here rather, you can watch it on the live. But let me go to navigating the virtual symposium. So there are a couple of different areas that provide some pretty important information. And I'll walk you through them in this list, and then we'll go back and do that together. So we are based in Canada in Mountain Time. I know many of you are not based in Mountain Time. So in order to change your time zone, you are able to switch it here and convert it in this view. It says once you're logged in and you have the page open, you'll see the workshop schedule populated there. Once you click this nice blue button, again, I'll walk you through that, you will be able to change your time zone and see what time each session will start in your particular time zone. When the blue button says revert time zone, you will know that you are looking at it in a specific time zone that you have requested. Additionally, the schedule includes lots of fantastic information at a glance, such as the session title, the session time, session length. This is the number of minutes that will be applied to your PD certificate as well. Session presenter and session description. So at a glance in our schedule page, you can see all of that information. And once you click on each individual workshop or each individual lesson, you will see this information here. This is quite similar to what we are looking at right now, but I will go to one of the separate sessions just so you can see what that looks like in general. Again, if you want to look through the single session view, just like we were seeing earlier on the left side of our screen, you'll see a menu with different sessions that you can select with a drop down such as this. So in that view, the sessions are the larger boxes. You can open up these little drop downs here to access the quizzes. You can scroll through, using the bar on the side, and you can expand these to view the session quiz. And much like years previous, there will be an opportunity to do one single certificate for the whole selection for every session. If you attend each session, you will be able to do one large certificate at the very end. And this will allow you to do, if you're submitting it for PD hours, submit that one. I think it's 16.25 or 16.5 hours of professional development. And that will be listed there. Give me 1 second, please. All right. And let me just go back, like it says here, pardon me. To leave this view, you can go to the top left-hand side and click back to the workshop at any point. And this will take you back to the main page of the symposium sessions. So scrolling down just to show you again in real time what that view looked like we were just talking about. You can see each of our sessions here. We have the title, we have the time, we have the length of the session, the presenter. I won't click this link, but if you do click this link, it will take you to that particular presenter's bio. A brief preview of the session description and an opportunity to launch the session. So let me just show you as well, convert to my time zone. Unfortunately, I am in my time zone, so you can't see the change. But let's just say if I was in, I'm going to pick on Artie because I can see her face. If you were in Artie's time zone, which is 2 hours ahead of mine, Eastern, you would see this change to 12 p.m., for example. Make sure if you are not seeing this revert to time zone and you are not in Mountain Time, you will have to double check, because I did get one question this morning. Somebody was asking, I think they were in Europe, if it was also starting at 8 a.m. for them tomorrow. It is definitely not starting at 8 a.m. if you are in Europe. So please remember to recheck your time zone if you're unsure. Our support team is also ready and very happy to help you if you have any questions that we don't answer in this session. So we will definitely get there. I'm just going to go through the little chat here and see about some of these questions just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I do see a question here about sessions being recorded. Yes, all of the sessions will be recorded. You'll be able to watch those at any time between when the session is live and until July 16th, 2025. Somebody here is asking about getting into the Zoom. Each session is an individual Zoom session. So you will not be able to just click into one and continue on throughout the day. We are including breaks in between each of our sessions, and each of those will be recorded as an individual video, so they are in separate sessions. The links are all available on the workshops site here, which I will show you when we go to the individual session view. And we will go into a little bit more detail about individual certificates. And just to allay any concerns about Zoom reaching capacity, since this is a bit of a different session type than we will be doing for our sessions, we will have many, many more seats available. Those YouTube links are all available in each of the individual session pages. So we'll be going there too. But right now, I'm just going to go to updating your profile. So if you notice once you register, maybe you made a typo in your name, maybe you have a different email now, whatever that may be, to update your profile, you will click on My Account and go to the Edit Profile page. So for example, My Account, Edit Profile. So this green drop down on the top right, and then the third one down, it's Edit Profile. And that will take you to this view. So once you are in that session or section, you'll be able to change your first name, last name, email, and password.
You work in O'Fallon, you work in Troy.
Make sure everything is correct and then update. Just because I'm on an admin account, I won't show you here since it won't be accurate. This is a more accurate depiction of what you will see. And just before I continue, please, just as a reminder, double check, please, that your mic is off. I'm hearing somebody just chatting here, so I just want to make sure everyone can hear me properly. Thank you. All right, moving on to the next one, earning professional development. I did see a couple questions about those quizzes. So there are 2 ways to earn professional development from Musicplay, and another way that we are offering professional development through Illinois Music Educators Association. So firstly, through us, you are able to do it in 2 ways. You can complete certificates for each session by completing the quizzes for each session, or you can do one big long quiz and get a single certificate for that. So we are just going to walk through that. So as you can see here, each session has an individual quiz. And when you complete a quiz, this will create a certificate. So I'll show you what that looks like in just one moment here. But when you complete that, if you go up to My Account, you can see your certificates there, and that will show you all of those and when you've completed them. Every certificate will include your name, the title of the session that you've completed, or the title of the full symposium, the date that you completed it, and how many hours/minutes of professional development you are entitled to. So for example, for each of the sessions, you will see a number of hours. For the full quiz, which I will show you both just as an example, you will get a total number of minutes of professional development. Again, once you complete the quiz and you see perhaps your name is wrong, please go to your edit profile and update your name. For teachers who are registered in Illinois, you also are able to receive credit through ILMEA. So we will, if you are registered for that, we have provided links for starting and closing at the start and closing of each and every day. So you'll see those built into the schedule here. And there are also links in the main page. So if you are someone who is receiving that PD credit and need that certificate, you will just go to the Illinois PD sign in based on the day. So day 1 for July 16th, launch session, and that will take you to those links. Just moving right along, using Zoom. So, pardon me, this is one of those things that will be slightly different from last year. So we are so happy to say that we have a huge number of people who are interested in Sing Dance Play 2024, which is fantastic. Because of the number of attendees, we did want to change a couple of things just to ensure that everyone has an awesome time, that there are no surprises. So we are doing it in what's called Zoom webinar. So essentially what that means is we have our lovely presenters will be joining us as panelists, and all of our registrants will be attending as attendees. So attendees, it'll be a very similar view to what you're looking at. You just won't be able to share your camera as readily. And in order to ask questions, if you are looking to ask those questions, you'll just need to raise your hand. There is no requirement to have your camera on or your mic on to receive professional development. We do have quizzes, like I had mentioned before, that do have questions that indicate that you have attended. So for our purposes, as well as for ILMEA, there's no need to have your camera on. That does not affect any ability to earn professional development. Once we go through the full day, and we are at the closing session / the happy hour, as we like to call it, we will invite people to turn on their cameras and to turn on their mics if they would like to participate and join in as what are called panelists, which basically just means you will be allowed to use your camera and your microphone. No pressure there, but we will open that opportunity in our closing sessions. As well, just to give a little rundown of how each of our sessions work, we do have our full time in the sense of how long a session is going to take. So if I go back to the workshop here, just to explain that to you, let's start with this one, for example. So you think you can't dance. It says here it's listed for 60 minutes. What that means is there will be 45 minutes for a session, and that last 15 minutes for any questions that you might have. For all of our sessions, we do ask that folks ask their questions in the chat or in the Q&A module that's included in the Zoom. And our team will keep track of those questions so that in those last 15 minutes, a member of our team can ask the questions of the presenter. That way, you will 100% get your question asked. You don't have to worry about it getting lost in the chat. The presenter doesn't have to go back through the chat to double check and see if anything's there. So our team will keep track of all those questions. My headphone just fell out. Our team will keep track of all those questions for you, so you don't have to worry about anything in that regard. Additionally, if there are any concerns about Zoom, we have had a very large number of people interested in this. So depending on how many people come to each of our sessions, we do have a capacity of 1,000 attendees for each session. If we reach capacity, the attendees who, if you're 1001 or 1002, you will be directed back to YouTube Live. Please rest assured that you will be able to participate in the exact same way on YouTube Live. No concerns there. We keep track of any questions there. We keep track of any comments there. We keep our eyes between both the Zoom and the YouTube Live. So you don't need to worry about any difference in experience in that regard. It is entirely the same. For Zoom as well, just as a reminder, is if you haven't used Zoom in a while, and this, I suppose, is mostly for folks who are watching this on recording, because all of you attending here are currently using Zoom right now. But if you have not used Zoom in a while, please remember to update your Zoom, because you don't want to have any funny little Zoom things. And just as a reminder, Zoom etiquette, your microphone, things like that shouldn't be a problem for this particular session or this particular list of sessions, but in the happy hour, again, just remember, we do always appreciate Zoom etiquette. And in the sessions in the Q&A, if you do want to ask a question using your voice rather than chat, please just raise your hand and we will give you that opportunity. If you have any questions or are concerned about anything, you need help, you need assistance, you can always email us at support@musicplay.ca, or you can check out our Facebook group, Sing Dance Play 2024. We have a pretty active community on Facebook, both in our Sing Dance Play Sing Dance Play group, but also we have a lot of crossover with Musicplay teachers. So you can get some really great information on both sides. Generally speaking, though, for the workshop and for Sing Dance Play, you will find the most up-to-date information in this particular group here. Lots of great discussions happening there, especially right now that they're really ramping up because we're getting excited for it. So that's great. And finally, we are at try creating a certificate. So I will leave it to y'all to complete your certificates. Excuse me, I'll show you this quiz though, and then I'll show you what the certificates look like. So here is where you can do the quizzes. So true or false, you can rewatch the sessions after the symposium has ended. True. If you have a technical question or concern that is not addressed or solved in the FAQ section, you can contact support@musicplay.ca for help. True. Can I change the name that is displaying on my PD certificate? Absolutely yes. When I complete a quiz, I will find the professional development certificate on the certificates page under menu. Yes. Can I reset my password, and how do I do that? Little Easter egg, if you want to see this fun answer. I will not read it out loud for you. And do you have your Zoom account set up and updated, etc.? Yes. I don't mind walking you through this quiz because I think all of you will get a great 100%. So finish quiz. Results. Hooray, 100%. Print certificate, and this will allow you to see your certificate. And here we go. This one does not have a date or time because it's just for our orientation, but I will take you to my certificates here. And I'll show you the difference. So just to have it here, we are at Sing Dance Play. They're organized by sessions. So as you can see, we also offer a lot of webinars, not just our summer symposium. So if you want to get in on that, those are also very regular PD. But let me just see. There we go, Virtual Sing Dance Play 2024. So here are all of our quizzes. I'm just going to choose our top one here. And then this is our big one. So as you can see, I've completed it May 1st. And as you can see here, when I was going through them, completed it June 19th. Obviously, your dates will not be that for 1 hour of professional development. That's how you will see those quizzes once you have completed those. Again, if you want to get the full view of how many PD hours you've gotten and you just see 170 or 870 minutes, all you have to do is just divide that by 60, and then you get the full number of hours that you've received. Depending on what district you're in or who you are submitting that PD to, you may have to do it one way or another. So one last thing that I said I would do is walk you through one of the session pages. So let me just do that with you right now, and then I am going to take a look and see what kind of questions that we've got. So I'm going to choose our session here. So in each of these session pages, you will see the title. That will confirm what session you are in. The minutes to complete. This is how many minutes you will see for your PD certificate. So for example, 1 hour, or you'll have 60 minutes added to your full session quiz. Here we have our description of the session, just to get you oriented for that. As well as a note here as a reminder, the first 1,000 participants for each of these sessions will be admitted to the Zoom. Anyone else will be redirected to YouTube Live. Again, the YouTube Live and the Zoom experience will be the same. The only difference in sessions will be in that happy hour session. So to launch the Zoom, once you are ready, you click Launch Zoom. I won't do that, of course, because we are not ready for that yet. But launch Zoom, you will be brought into a waiting room. Once our presenters / our moderating team have everything confirmed and everything streaming, we will open those sessions and we will begin those sessions. You can access all of the course materials in this little white area on the right-hand side. That will allow you to download anything relevant or go to any relevant links, which are in related links. Each of these sessions will for sure include a link to that individual handout and that related link. So you will find the main handout, if we went back to the workshop, in the main workshop page. Each session includes that session's handout only. So if for whatever reason you don't want to print out the full one, but you want a session for this, or you want to print out for this one, a handout for this one, you can do that. If you are only able to attend some of them, you can get those individual handouts as well. And these will, again, all be available with the recordings until July 16th, 2025. Each of the sessions will have a quiz linked at the bottom here, which, as we were saying before, you can expand and collapse like that, as well as the quiz way down here at the bottom. There are multiple places that you can access these, which is to say, you can do it in the sessions page like this, or in the back to the workshop in the main page, all the way down at the bottom in these sessions. Down here, just for your reference, if you go down and are wondering, what is this thing that says workshop content? These are additional ways to access the resources that are in the workshop for each of the lessons. So if I expand it here, we have our lesson summary, the lesson content, which is a link to the quiz. Another example is our orientation, where we went through all of these together. So there's a pretty quick overview of the sessions here, but just give me 1 second. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen so I can take a look and see what kind of questions might be kicking around. And I do see we've got a nice little list going. Thanks, team who is collecting those. I'm just going to go through and read some of them. If I have to share my screen again, I absolutely will. So question 1 here is, how do we receive verification of credit for professional development hours? So we provide the certificates and the professional development hours, etc. It really depends on your district, your MEA, things like that, and who is determining how you earn those credit hours. So for example, if you are with ILMEA, you will submit to ILMEA using those links that I showed you earlier. It really depends on each individual. So I would suggest contacting your admin and seeing what works. Again, because these are available until July 16th, 2025, if you don't get an answer right now, please do not panic. You can print off these certificates whenever you need to. So please attend the sessions, do things like that if you need that kind of verification as well. Insert that one. Somebody asks, if you don't complete all of the sessions, can you get one certificate for the hours you did complete, or is that option only available for those who completed all the sessions? That is a fantastic question, and I'm actually just going to share my screen one more time so I can show you what that looks like. So this quiz, this all-encompassing quiz, will ask you questions like, did you attend this? Didn't you attend this? Did you attend? Didn't you attend? So if I attended all of them except for this first one, which I knew was worth 60 minutes or 60 points, I would get a certificate that said I am eligible, or I received 810 minutes worth of professional development rather than that 870. So as long as you are accurate in this, you will get a certificate that does reflect the proper number of minutes / hours that you have completed for the professional development. All right. And yes, somebody here is asking again, if you don't complete it that day, can you watch again later? Can you take the quiz? Yes, you can take the quiz whenever you want. You can watch it whenever you want. If you want to watch it at 1 a.m. on a Saturday, more power to you. You absolutely can do that. And to build off that, I'm seeing another question here. Playback is available to anyone who has registered to the sessions, regardless of if you are a Musicplay Online user or not. I've seen that question a few times on both of our Facebook pages and in some of our emails and messages and things like that. The accounts are related, but you do not need to be an active user or have an active subscription of Musicplay Online in order to access the recordings. Once you're registered to this, particularly because it is a free event, you will be able to access until that July 16th, 2025 date. So no concerns there. The certificates as well, someone's asking here, is there a certificate for folks who are not in / part of Illinois? Yes, those certificates that I showed or have been showing are actually not specific to Illinois. Those certificates are for everybody. The Illinois PD is something that you have to, register for. If you are part of ILMEA, I'm sure you've already done that. And you will register as, or rather submit your professional development hours in a separate link. Those links will be sent to you if you are part of ILMEA, which thank you for this question because that is a reminder. You will receive a very special email if you are part of ILMEA with those links in particular. If you're not, you don't even have to worry about it. We just do the regular certificates, which is awesome. Recorded sessions, someone asking here, when will the recorded sessions be available? The recorded sessions will be available as soon as humanly possible. We do, of course, have to do a little bit of, mixing, a little bit of editing because you never know what could happen. So we will be making those available as soon as possible. And our goal is to have them available the morning of July 18th. Barring any, surprises, that is our plan. So we will get those available to you to rewatch as soon as possible. And somebody here asks, if I watch by YouTube Live, do I still go back to the original page to take the quiz and be able to print a certificate? Yes, you absolutely will. All of the content and the information, the video, everything that you'll be seeing will be exactly the same as any attendees who are on Zoom. You will just have to work in 2 separate windows, and it's very much the same. We don't see in our workshop site who is attending on Zoom necessarily and who is attending on YouTube Live. You will just get that information in one of 2 platforms, Zoom or YouTube Live. And then you will take that and go back to our workshop site and complete any of the quizzes and certificates that you need to do to get those PD hours and to have those printed off for you. So that is all the questions I have in my little document here, but let me just double check and see if there's anything else that has come up in the questions here. Oh, somebody asks here, if you watch the sessions in a different order and complete all of them, where would you print off the one certificate? It's totally fair if you complete it in a different order. You don't need to change the order for the quiz. You'll still get that specific time allotment based on your quiz. So even if you watch, for example, the 50 dances or dance steps kids should know was the first question on the quiz, no big deal if you watch that first, second, third, fourth, etc. Just say that you haven't watched it on the quiz and you would still get that. Or if you have watched it, then you would still obviously say you watched it. Doesn't matter when you watch it. Just complete the quizzes and we are good to go. All right, so that sort of sums up our orientation. We did have it here for, oh, let me see. One other person asks, can you watch more than once? Absolutely. They will be available to stream. So they'll be hosted either on YouTube or on Vimeo, but you will be able to watch specifically on the workshop site. And you can watch it as many times as you like, no limitations. You will only be able to submit those or receive that professional development once. But if you want to review and go through any sessions, or if somebody has a little piece that you really appreciated and you wanted to get that again, you can just rewind back to the beginning, watch it again, and you're good to go. All right. I did want to open the floor, though, if anyone did want to raise their hands and ask any questions before we finish up here. We do still have about 25 minutes of time allotted. No pressure to ask any questions, but always want to leave it open. Seems good. All right. All right. Oh, we have one more. Is the date listed on the certificate the date you take the quiz? Yes, it is. So if you had seen previous, some of you may not have seen, you may have joined halfway through. I will actually just share my screen again and I'll show you. When I was testing our quizzes to make sure that everything was hunky-dory and ready for y'all, there are some very early dates in mine. So I'll choose this one. As you can see, I was doing some testing on June 19th. So we have that date. So it will show which date you've done it. And if you want to, retake the quiz, if for whatever reason, and you do want to have a new date, you will see that new date reflected. But like I said, you can only submit that PD once. We only honor it in that way. So you can change the date if you need a different date for the hours that you're submitting, but we do only consider it that allotment of time. All right, perfect. I'm not seeing any more questions coming in. I don't want to put you on the spot, Artie, but I kind of do. Did you want to say anything just before we close up here? I know a lot of people are excited to see and hear from you.
Can you hear me now?
I sure can.
Greetings, everybody. I'm really excited that we're going to be back and spend our times together, making great music and thinking of our sweet Denise. I have her here right here on my desk every day as I'm doing my work. And I'm bringing you some beginning of the year stuff. I'm going to be doing hoop group happenings with woods, metals, and shakers and skins, non-pitch percussion, and lots of different things in terms of concepts delivered, but just a lot of fun for them and easy to start with at the beginning of the year. And then my other one is bar basics, which is going to be using the Orff instruments and getting out of that gate with, 35 kids in the room, each at an instrument, and figuring out how to tame the anthill and make beautiful music right away. So hope you like all of the things that I brought. You can let me know which ones work in your classroom. That would be good. So everybody, though, I looked at the list and there is a ton of good stuff and an amazing variety. So then we'll have happy hour together. We'll be doing our usual jokes and getting to know you and telling you what parts of the world all of our people are here from for the symposium. So I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Artie. And I will say, if anyone here has attended any of Artie's other sessions and has gotten any particular songs stuck in your head, you are in luck because that will happen to you again this year. I know it's been happening to me. So that's always something to look forward to. And actually, before we close, I have one more question from somebody. They say, while we are watching live, are the presenters live as well or pre-recorded? They are actually, some of them are live, some will be pre-recorded. What's really cool about the pre-recorded ones, such as with Artie sessions, is we have footage of some kids doing these sessions. So there's some really excellent opportunities to see how these are used in the classroom, which is very, very exciting.
And kids I'd never met. So you talk about being on a hot seat. It's like the first day of school when you don't know any names. They were wonderful, though. We had a great time, 2 afternoons together for 2-hour sessions. It was really fun.
Yeah, it will be very, very nice. So we are going to go ahead and close this session down here. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. It was lovely to see all of y'all. We can't wait to chat more tomorrow and see that. And actually, Shelley, I'm seeing that one thing. I will have to check into that. Please feel free to send us an email at support@musicplay.ca. I'm not quite sure why that's happening. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.